Welcome back to Success with Steven. My name is Steven Smith. On this channel, we discuss everything with credit repair, finance, business credit, just overall increasing our financial literacy. And today, I'm continuing my series of charge-offs and different types of charge-offs to get removed. I think I may have 3 other types for you. I was thinking if this was going to be the last installment, but as I was thinking that, I did realize that there were a few more that I can touch on. I think repeating new information after 180 days was one that I technically haven't gone over yet. Some of it seemed a little bit redundant, but if you would still like to see those other charge-off videos, let me know. Today's video actually came from a comment that I gotten where someone asked me, what should you do if there's no information to dispute? Now, I only had one example of this, but it is my personal example. In this situation, I ask that you take it with a grain of salt because I do not know if this can be recreated. I do think it was a fluke. It was an accident, but I had a situation where all dispute options had been exhausted. And this was actually the last account that I had on my Experian credit report. And the account was with Affirm Inc. If you're familiar with the firm, it is a pay over time app similar to like Klarna or similar to Afterpay. And it was a charge off where there really wasn't any inconsistent payment history. They had a repeating collection notice on my report, and it was seemed almost impossible to get removed. So I am going to show you exactly what I did in order to get this charge off deleted. But again, like I said, I would take this with a grain of salt because I don't know if this can be repeated again. But I do just want to make sure that I at least address it, because when you run out of, you exhaust all options, this may be like the last resort that you may want to try. All right, so this report was on January 17th, 2024. And as you can see, I have the Affirm Inc. charge off here. Balance was updated on January 3rd, 2024. So let's take a look. This one was definitely hurting my credit score. It had 33 potentially negative months on this account. And the account was 30, 60, 90, and then it was charged off. And then as you can see, it repeated collection. I already used that as a dispute reason, so I couldn't repeat the same one. If not, then my disputes would get thrown out as frivolous or duplicate complaints, so they wouldn't even acknowledge them. And this was only reporting to Experian, so I couldn't go the Identity IQ route and try to compare it to anything. This was the only one there, and all I had was payment history to dispute. With those options exhausted, it didn't seem like I had anything left that I could potentially do. Now, the first thing I did, I can't find the exact day I submitted it, but what I can say, it was somewhere between January the 13th to January the 17th. I went on to Experian's website. You can dispute online. Normally, I don't do that. What I did was dispute the account online. And when I did dispute the account online, I said that the charge off date was incorrect. So the first thing that I want to do is kind of go to the complaint that I originally sent. This complaint was completely separate. And again, as you're watching this video, this is really not a step-by-step guide because I don't see this as an actual tried and true method. It was just something that I did. So this was after I had already tried to do some disputes for, accuracy, the account's inaccurate. I was running out of options. So I tried to see if I could request a 1099-C. I never got one from a firm. They actually did contact me and told me that I was not eligible, but I sent this to Experian. I previously disputed this account with Experian Affirm Inc. I let them know this account was not reported accurately. According to the IRS, when an account is charged off, it's considered income, and according to the FCRA, income cannot be reported on a credit report. I requested a 1099-C cancellation of debt from a firm in regards to the following charge-off listed below. So I said that, and I said this account can no longer be reported on my credit report. Now, this was before a firm contacted me back and let me know if I was eligible for a 1099-C. They told me the only way I would be eligible for one is if I filed a bankruptcy, which I did not. So they told me because I did not, they would not be able to send me one. Now, after I sent this on January 8th, I tried something new, and I believe it was on January 13th that I did this. I went to the Experian website. I disputed the account directly with them. And when I disputed the account directly with them, I told them that the charge-off date was inaccurate. I just gave them a random date. And when I gave them a random date, I want to show you exactly what happened in that situation. So remember, this one was on this is my report on January 17th. Look at the dates. It was charged off on 2021, 30, 60, 90, charged off in August, and then just repeated collection going forward. That's what happened. Now, let me show you what my report looked like on January 21st, a few days later. Now, as you can see, this is my Experian report on January 21st, 2024. Now we're going to scroll down to the account. As you can see here, same account is on my credit report. Look at what's changed. You guys see that? I disputed it directly with Experian, and I told them that the original charge-off date was inaccurate. I don't remember what I said because I didn't do this as a complaint through the CFPB, so I can't show you. I've looked for it. It was just a complaint that I just sent. And this is what happened. As you can see, they changed my date. This account was opened on March 2nd, 2021. They changed it to where the account shows 30, 60, 90 charged off as of 2018. And then they charged it off on 2021 of March, which was the actual opening date. So here's what I think happened. One of two things occurred. Either when I challenged the date of the account, they tried to change it to make it make sense. That was a possibility, something that could have potentially occurred. Or when I said that the account was charged off, or it was a 1099-C, a cancellation of debt, and that I didn't owe it, maybe they tried to make it make sense and went back and changed it. Since I can't say for sure exactly what happened, all I can say is this. My constant persistence of trying to dispute this account in various ways somehow made Experian, they made the account inaccurate. So I remember the day I saw this, I was like, ooh, because I got a dispute response saying that the account was updated. But when I saw it was updated, I thought a couple different things. I thought, ooh, maybe I should just leave it alone. It's going to hit the statute of limitations of 7 years in about a year. So I was like, maybe I should leave it alone. But I decided, no, now it's so inaccurate, I have a perfect reason to remove this account. So what I'm saying is, if you dispute enough, you can potentially make the account inaccurate. That's what happened here. Now, again, I don't know if this was a fluke. I don't know if it was a one-off. I don't know if it can be repeated. But it was what I did. I disputed it directly with Experian, and I gave them information that was inaccurate. They updated the information, which then made the account actually inaccurate. So now I'm going to show you the complaint that I submitted after this one. You can see here on January 20th, because this was the 20th that I submitted this. So that updated report that I showed you was the 21st. So that means that sometime before that, it had already happened. I must have seen it. But I disputed inaccurate information with Experian in regards to this account of Firm Inc. Experian stated the information was verified and accurate. After checking my report, the information is still obviously inaccurate. On my Experian report, the account displays an open date of March 2nd, 2021, but this account was actually opened March 2nd, 2017. It should be falling off my credit report March 2nd, 2024. The report shows the payment history begins June 2018, which is also an inaccuracy. This account is also charged off twice, which means this is another blatant inaccuracy. An account can't be charged off, reported as collection, and then charged off again. This is a clear inaccuracy that Experian allowed to remain on my credit report. The account is not 100% accurate, so it is deemed inaccurate and should be deleted immediately. So, one of the most important things that I want to note at the bottom of this, I told them to send me an update of my of an updated copy report within 15 days. And on this, as you can see, I did a couple things. I pointed out 3 different inaccuracies. Normally, I tell you to only point out one, but for this one, this is again that this was a one-off. This was a special case. I pointed out a couple different things. I pointed out the actual open date was different. I pointed out the open date that they showed on here was inaccurate, when in actuality that was the accurate date right there, March 2nd, 2021. That was the date I opened it. That was the date that the account was actually opened. The account wasn't open on March the 2nd, 2017, but that's what I said. The reason I picked that is because I knew them changing the opening date would be very difficult. They can't change the open date. That's hard. They could change the payment history again, the same way that they changed it to 2017, 18. They can then change it right back. So instead, I picked the open date because that would be much, much, much harder to change, right? So as you can see, I'm throwing out nothing but inaccurate information. I'm saying this account was open in 2017, but it shows 2018. My open date's 2021. I'm throwing out inaccurate information to make this account just completely messed up. Because it was so accurate, I didn't have anything to dispute. So we just made up inaccuracies and basically saw if the credit bureau, or in this case Experian, would then change it, which they did. In fact, they changed it and made it so inaccurate that it could no longer be fixed. So again, this is January 20th that I submitted this report. The date for the Experian report I showed you was on January 21st, but that was the only updated one that I had. Prior to that, I must have seen it, and it may have been a couple days prior. I must have seen it because I know I submitted that dispute to make it inaccurate somewhere between, I would say, the 8th of January and the 13th. I tried the 1099-C. That didn't work. Submitted a complaint directly with them. Said that the charge-off date was wrong. They made it inaccurate. Saw that, submitted this on the 20th. I know the report I showed you says 21st, but I submitted this on the 20th, so it must have happened somewhere between, I would say, the 17th and in that time. So it took about a week for them to change it and to make it inaccurate. I responded 3-4 days later, January 20th, gave them even more inaccurate information, but my dispute reason was valid, but just threw out even more inaccurate information. This dispute that I'm trying to use would also further make the account inaccurate. Even if they updated it, it would make it then more inaccurate at that point. So I think it was a combination of just a lot of bad information being given out over and over and over. that it just completely messed up this perfectly accurate charge off. So now if we go here, as you can see, on February 6th, and maybe it was deleted prior, um, but February 6th is the alert that I could find. It shows that it was deleted. So affirm account SEQXXXX. This item was removed from your credit report, and that's it. So it took about 2 weeks for them to respond after that complaint, maybe give or take, and then they remove the account. Now, the reason why I bring this up, I'll show you this. I can't, again, I don't, this situation is so unique. It's such a one off. It was the last account that I had, and I had to get creative. The only thing I could really say about this is because I can't really give you a process of exactly step by step what I did. You'd have to like recreate this exact, these circumstances can't be recreated. But the main thing that I want to show you here is if you run out of options, don't stop disputing. Get creative. See what information you can throw out to make the account invalid if possible. I was able to do it here. Again, maybe it was luck. But if you have an account that's perfectly inaccurate, maybe you're on round 4 or 5. Try going to the CFPB first and changing the opening date. If you have this same, like if you have Experian, if this is an account that's only reporting to Experian, like maybe you're in the same boat, try disputing it online directly with Experian, but don't ask them to delete it. Just say information is not right. Maybe tell them the open date was 2016 when it was in fact 2020. See if they change the open date. Now, if you go back into the CFPB and you dispute again and you say, wow, this account is so inaccurate, it says it was opened in 2016, but I actually opened it up in 2015. See, now you just throw out another inaccuracy. I opened it in 2015, but the open date says 2020. You just threw out another inaccuracy just in case they update it. Now it's even more inaccurate. And then you also threw out something that was actually a factual dispute, which is the open date right now says that it's 2020. So you've thrown out more wrong information. You've disputed a factual thing that's accurate, and that is very hard to change. So again, I haven't done this enough to know if it's a process that can work. I just wanted you to know that it was possible that it can be done, and that if you run out of all options, don't fret. It's okay. You can do something like this to continue to disputing the account with information that may not make sense at all, just to confuse them, just to further the inaccuracies, just to be able to, dispute that account, because this account was perfect to a degree. Like there was nothing else I had left. So, when your back's against the wall and you don't have many options, you're going to have to do, whatever it is that you can come up with. So, continue disputing, get creative. And this is a testament to, even if there's no options left, there's always an option left. You just have to continue to push for what those options may potentially be. And this is also for those people who, when they've gotten some deletions, because some of you have gotten some deletions, but maybe it was deleted off of Experian and TransUnion, but not off Equifax. Now you have one account, but they've corrected it to where now you can't compare it to anything. You only have their payment history. If they didn't delete it for a repeated charge off or statute of limitations, you may feel like I run out of all options. Well, hopefully this example is something that you can look at and you can say, okay, let me try that first, and I'm going to see if this could potentially work. Worst case scenario, the reason why I picked due date is because the original account was charged off in 2018 or 2021. If now you mess with the open date, if you could get it to go back 7 years, you could then try to dispute again for, oh, it's past the statute of limitation, which is why I tried to dispute. It showed that the date was charged off was 2018. I tried to say 2017 because one more year back, if they would have changed it, I could have also then said, hey, this is past the 7 years. I could have done one or the other. So yeah, man, that's my recommendation. If you exhausted all options, dispute the open date, try to get them to update the account to go back 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years. Maybe have them take it back 3 years and then take it back another 4. Now you're 7. Oh, this account is past the statute of limitations. Or dispute the accuracy of the account at that point. Oh, the account says it was opened in 2023, but if you look at the open date on the account, it shows 2016. Whatever you have to do to create a scenario that you can then have um, a good foundation for a factual dispute. And yeah, that's the end of this video. Again, and take it with a grain of salt. I was hesitant to even show this because it's not like a tried true method. It doesn't really give you anything that I think can be proven to work, except for in this one-off scenario. But I just thought that it would be good for an example. Going forward, I didn't have any plans to do any other charge off videos until I was going over common inaccuracies, and I did find a few more. I felt like it seemed kind of redundant, but if you want more examples of charge off removal options, I am willing to do. Look, I think I have 3 more tops, and then after that, I think we'll be wrapping up charge offs because I don't think that there's anything else that I could show you unless someone wants me to show a specific example of something that they did. Like I talked to someone yesterday where I was saying, hey, I'm almost done with the charge off series because I've touched on everything. He was offering his information as an example that I can use. And I'm like, well, I've done repossessions. I've done repeated charge off. I've done inconsistent reporting across all 3 bureaus with identity IQ. I'm like, I pretty much touched on the main deletion reasons for charge offs. But if you want to see like one with, like, for example, a firm, when I did research on a firm, from what I saw with the Better Business Bureau or everywhere else, it seemed like no one was able to get a deletion for this company. Like, it was tough. So maybe if there's one that you think is tough and we've gotten a deletion on it just to see as an example, then that could work. For someone who has a firm or who had this, I hope this is, something that they can use for an example. So if you want more of that, I am willing to do more of that going forward. I am looking to do more videos on business credit. Right now, in the making of this video, I usually have 7, 8, 9, 10 videos already scheduled. Sometimes if I feel like something's important, I push it ahead. But for the most part, like this video, by the time you're seeing it, it may be 2-3 weeks out that I actually will release this. I may push it up if I felt like it's important enough, or if I felt like I was getting questions about it enough, I'll push it ahead. I try to push out the things that I feel like will be the most useful to people, and I push back the things that maybe no one's asking for, or maybe I just thought it was good, but it wasn't something that that the community may have wanted. So just bear in mind, what you tell me is what I'm going to probably push to the forefront. Whatever I think is good, I usually have scheduled, and I push back depending on, what's going on. But usually I keep 10 videos, I would say 7 to 10 videos already scheduled ahead. So I'm very much ahead. I'm usually a month ahead when it comes to releasing videos. So yeah, just when this does release, just let me know. By then I probably have more business stuff out. If you want something more towards that, then, I'll find out. Please let me know. If you want more charge offs, then I'll probably read that in the comments. I'll look at the consensus and see what it is that people want more of. Um, but this series, as of now, and today is Tuesday. It's April 9th. As of now, this series will probably be coming to an end in my head within, like, maybe the next 2-3 weeks. I may just do one charge off video for the next 3 weeks. Then I may do a compilation of everything. That way people just have one comprehensive video that they can go to for all this information. My goal is to have the most comprehensive, easy guide to follow with charge offs on YouTube, and then put this all into a playlist, and then update it as information becomes irrelevant. But as long as information is relevant, I don't really feel the need to go back. I only want to be going forward with information that is relevant to my audience. Again, if I don't have anything to contribute, I'm not going to make a repeat video to make a repeat video. I'm only going to make it to update information or to clarify information, but not just to repeat the same thing over and over. So, yeah, this is going to actually be short. I'm glad it wasn't too long. I really, for these last 5, 6, 7 minutes, really just wanted to clear this and let you know, hey, this isn't a step by step. This isn't a how to. This is just more of, here's some information and an example of something that occurred, and you might be able to recreate it in your situation. And even if you can't recreate it, I just wanted you to know that this was something that was in fact a possibility. If you didn't actually know that it could, be done. If you, if you enjoy that, the content, if you like this video, I'll be doing a couple more updates on another credit repair video. There's a few other things I'm going to be updating soon for you guys. But other than that, thank you for everything. Appreciate the support. Appreciate all the comments, super likes. Thank you. Beyond grateful, beyond grateful. And I'm just going to keep pushing and providing you with as much value as I possibly can. All right. You guys have a great day.